Hey everybody, welcome back to Becoming YouTube. I'm James, and today I'm going to show you how I made studio lights using a garbage bag, a cardboard box, and some aluminum foil. Alright, if you remember my first video, you know that it was pretty dark. That's because obviously I didn't have any lights, and because if you remember what I said about the budget, you don't have one. Well, that meant we had to make some. So, what I did was I created some studio lights using, well, like I said, a garbage bag, a box, and an LED light.
Here's a list of the items I used on this build.
First thing first, we're going to make this into a box rather than a flat piece of cardboard. Alright, so now we have our box. It looks more like a box, so now we're going to just make it a little shorter. Right now, you know, it's 18 by 18 by 16. I used 10 inches, so we're just going to cut it down. Basically, all you're going to do here is we're going to measure up 10 inches, make a line. So, easy as that. Alright, after I made spots 10 inches up all the way around the box, I'm going to use a speed square, you know, to draw a straight line across so I know where to cut, so I can keep this relatively, you know, the same all the way around. Alright, after we got a line scribed all the way around our box, it's time to take a box cutter, scissors, knives, whatever you got, and we're just going to cut along our line very carefully until we get a 10-inch tall box. Alright, so now we got a box that's like our other box, but shorter. We're going to put a hole in the other side for our light to stick through. So, alright, so here's our light. We're going to want it, you know, right here in the middle. 18-inch box, we know 9 over and 9 up. That'll give us a good center point for where the middle of our box is. Obviously this line's going to be pretty close to where the center of the box is. You can measure it anyway, just to be safe. Alright, so I put a mark here with a pencil, basically I stabbed the box at the center point. I'm just going to cut a small hole, see if the light fits. Doesn't, cut a little bigger hole, see if the light fits. We basically just want the light to just barely fit in the hole. Then we're going to fill it around the outside with hot glue. We have a hole. So let's grab our little nifty light here and see how well she fits. Hole's a little big, but you know, it'll do just fine. Alright, so we have our hole. We have our light. Obviously the light and the hole are not the same size, but we're going to use hot glue and we're going to fill all the way around it to get a good seal. So, just got to lay that down and we just got to get it started here. If you made your hole a little too big like I did, don't be afraid to, you know, cut up some scrap cardboard, you know, use it as support around the side. And then a bunch of glue. You can't go wrong. More glue, the better off you'll be. So we'll put this aside and then we'll do some other things, get some other stuff ready while we wait for this glue to dry. All right, now we're waiting on the glue to dry. We're gonna make the reflectors on the inside of the box to help get the light to shine outwards. So for that, we're gonna use our other box. This time we're just gonna cut it open. We're not gonna make it into a box. Keep it flat. All right, so now we have our box. It's flat, so we're just gonna cut it so we can open it up. Basically, we need about 18-inch sections. So basically what I do is I'm just gonna cut right in the corners of the box so we can open it up. Let's give the scissors another shot here. Garbage. Alright, so we got our 4 pieces of flat cardboard. So now we're going to need to use our speed square. We're going to measure 18 inches across. We're going to make this into an 18-inch square basically. So to make it easier, measure 18 across, draw a line, we'll cut it in half. So use our speed square. We're going to find 60 degrees, which is right here. We're going to set the fence up against the side of our board. We're going to use this pivot and we're going to rotate our speed square around this corner until that 60-degree line lines up with that edge. Alright, so there's 60-degree line, so this angle will be 60 degrees between these two edges. So we'll draw a line down our edge here. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So, speed square over her, around this pivot. Where's 60? There she is. Make sure you got the pivot in the right spot. You want that right in the corner. 60 degrees. Draw a line. All right, so now we have our 2 lines at 60 degrees. We need to find 12 inches down. Go with the tape measure. So 12 inches is going to be down here. So we need to make these lines continue down past that so we can draw a line between the two. Alright, so now at that 12 inch mark, I'm just going to draw a straight line that intersects both of our 60-degree angle lines coming down. Alright, that's the shape we're going for. So now that you have one, we can use this one to be, a template for the rest of them. So I'm going to do that angle nonsense. We can just cut. So let's do that. Alright, so now we got all 4 of our little triangle things here. So we're going to put them into our cardboard light assembly and continue. Alright, so now we have our box, lights glued in there. So we need to install our reflectors around the outside here. Basically, these are just going to get glued in, like so, to be at an angle like this. And all the way around, we're going to fill them with cover them with aluminum foil, and then they're going to help, shine the light outwards. So, easiest way to do it that I found is we're going to tape along this edge, set it in position, and just, let it fall in. We'll get them all like that, and then we'll push them back to where they need to be. And then we'll start attaching the aluminum foil, and we'll be almost done. All right, now that you got those in there the way you want them, we're gonna, add some more tape to kind of hold them stiff. Lay a bunch of foil in there, poke a hole for our light bulb, screw in our light. All right, so now we got aluminum foil line the hole inside of our light here. We're gonna wrap some tape around the edge here on the foil that we left hanging exposed, just to help hold it in place. So, all right, so there you go. Now we got our light, we got some foil in there, and we got it taped down so it's not gonna try to fall out on us. All right, so our studio light is almost complete. We have the box built, we got the reflectors in, we got the foil down. We just need to put a hole in this so we can put a light bulb in there, and we need to cover it to help soften our light up a little bit. What I'm going to use to cover it with is white trash bag. You probably have one of these around. It works great. You can, you can see through it enough that it's going to let a lot of light through, and it's opaque enough that it's going to help soften the light coming out. So what I'm going to do is just flip this box up. We're going to drape this trash bag around the edges, and we're going to tape it down, try to get it as flat as possible. All right, so now we got our nice plastic covering on, aka trash bag. What we're gonna do now is just run some more tape around the edge, kind of like we did with the aluminum foil, to make sure it stays on there. Obviously, if your light bulb goes out, you're gonna have to poke a hole in it and replace it, but it's an LED, so obviously by the time it goes out, you'll be so popular you can buy your own lights. And there you go, we're done. So we ran the tape around the outside of the box to hold on our diffuser trash bag. All there is left to do is to test it, see if it works. All right, just to reiterate, if you're going to make this light, make sure you use the LED light bulb we talked about earlier. I use the daylight white 100-watt LED light bulb. Don't use an incandescent bulb because this is cardboard and this is a trash bag, and incandescent bulbs get hot, and neither one of these like hot stuff. So LED light bulb and you'll be good to go. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, please subscribe, and we'll see what else we can find to do.